a big, fat panda.
I'm not a big fat panda. I'm the big fat panda. Skadoosh.
Hello and welcome to Big Fat Panda Show number 7. I'm a little sad that the holidays are done, but January is proving to be very exciting. I have a really great guest for you today. Somebody you might know.
Ricky Briganti!
Excuse me?
Is Ricky Briganti going to be on the show?
Calm down. Yes, Ricky Briganti from Inside the Magic will be on the show later as a guest. Just, if you can, please be quiet and pay attention until he gets here. He has a lot of fans. First world problems. It's very cold in Florida again. I mean, this whole week was chilly, like 35 degrees at night, 29 degrees the next night.
Cold never bothered me anyway.
Yeah, well, it bothers me. I feel like the two guys from the American Adventure.
I shan't spend another night of it. At least you got shoes, mate. There's not a dozen left what can say that.
Don't tell me, friend. Tell the good general then. Tell him that half his camp has got typhus, small.
Yeah, I thought that was a great segue to let you know that I have a PandaVision video of the American Adventure I just did. So on BigFatPanda.com, I started to do food reviews. I think I did the Yak and Yeti counter service restaurant, the Friar's Nook mac and cheese, and we just did the new Spice Road Table that opened up at Morocco. If you haven't seen Spice Road Table, it's really nice. It's across from the Moroccan Pavilion. You can see the fireworks, I believe, even though there's 2 islands in the way, it still would look good for illuminations at night. There's a nice outside patio area. There's a nice inside. It's a little narrow and long, but very beautiful restaurant. I found the food to be a little high priced. They want to talk about Mediterranean small plates. If they want to talk about small plates, they should talk about a little bit smaller price. If you're going to charge me for an entree, you can't give me 2 little bites. That being said, the food was good. It matters, actually. There was some food that we liked, and there was some food that we really couldn't stand. I was there with Morgan Crutchfield from DVCCentral.com. She's really funny.
Getting in a lot of the sauce just in case.
You're not liking it.
Wow, that is a whole lot of. That's a lot going on in there. First of all, that's just a lot. I'm gonna try the cake in just a second by itself because I think it probably has its own merits. But for me, any kind of floury tasting sauce is kind of like chewing on a Yankee Candle. It's a thing.
Oh, I thought I ate a flower. Ooh. Oh, yeah, and it really was like biting into a Yankee Candle. It tasted like a rose wax candle. Ugh. But I have to tell you, the watermelon drink, that was awesome. But it was $5.99 for literally 4 sips. If there were refills on that and I was thirsty, they'd have run out. I don't want to get too mushy, but let me touch on something quickly. At the end of 2013, right before New Year, I ran around Epcot and went to the character spot, and I just was wishing Happy New Year to the characters, and I was giving them virtual kisses with the camera so the people at home could feel like they were kissing the characters. And I actually debated whether or not I should release the video because I thought it was a little juvenile of me. And this comment from a Chris Kelly, I'm going to tell you the truth. I just started crying in front of my computer. You'll know why. It just got me. It said, "This is probably a really strange comment to leave, but my father died unexpectedly 3 weeks ago this Thursday. He was 51, and I've been feeling depressed, but this video was the first thing to make me legitimately smile in what seems like a long time, so thank you." And it's still getting me, because if you can make someone smile and that person lets you know about it, maybe you did it to somebody else as well, and it makes it feel like it was worth it. So, Chris Kelly, I thank you, and it's stuff like that that really gets me and makes me continue to do everything that I do to try to bring you the theme parks. So the big news this month was not Disney. The big news this month was Universal Studios and the Harry Potter Diagon Alley expansion. I have to say, I'm really impressed. I had the opportunity to revisit the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Islands of Adventure. I went with Dave Parfit from Adventures by Daddy and George Gensler. We had a really nice time. I did some videos on BigFatPanda.com of the castle tour, just a tour of the land, and some of the Hogwarts Express conductor. The good thing is I think it's going to cause Disney to just continually to up their game, because Universal's really getting in on the detail and the immersive experience. They've got a good formula going, and they're not scared to spend money, or so it seems to the guest, and that's really the most important thing. So on the morning of January 23rd at 10:30 a.m., Universal Studios had their live webcast to give us more details about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, or specifically the Diagon Alley expansion and what to expect. So you have the London facade, and then behind it is the Diagon Alley. You have Florian Fortescue's ice cream parlor, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and I hear there's going to be exclusive flavors like cauliflower. But how interesting just to have something different. Hogsmeade Station will connect to King's Cross Station. You will have to have a two-part ticket to travel between Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, who both will have a Harry Potter world per se. What I was really impressed with also is I thought the train ride would be just a simple train ride where you'll sit down and, you know, they said that you obviously will be in a parking lot as you go from one to the other, but the screens on the sides will show you that you're going through the countryside in the Harry Potter world, which they also said would include some surprises. But in keeping authentic with the movie, they look like little cabins where you'll sit in and be loaded in with your friends into specific cabins. Take a peek.
We haven't shown this to anyone yet. We wanted our guests to feel just like they step inside this very special train from the films. And so we created it just for them. As you can see, it is just like the film in every detail. And we even added some surprises along the way that would really make this journey a fun adventure for everyone. Hi Ivana, how are you?
Good, good. Great to be here.
It's so great to have you here in Hogwarts Express.
I know, back again. And it really feels real, like even more real than the films to me. If that, I know that sounds weird, but like on the films we'd only have one carriage at a time and there'd be people rocking it outside, whereas this is the whole carriage, and it just feels very immersive and like you are on the Hogwarts Express.
And the big attraction is the Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts Bank. And I'm looking at the concept art here, and I'm not sure if it's a coaster or if it's more of a simulator like Spider-Man and Transformers, where you feel like you're on the coaster in Gringotts Bank. For size concerns, that probably would be the most efficient and still make you feel like you are on a coaster, because they can do amazing things now. When I rode Transformers, the ride in 3D, I felt like I was getting literally sucked into the screen. So I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I'm getting really excited for what I see. I am more of an Avatar fan, so I'm happy to say that Avatar Land has broken ground in Disney. The shovels apparently have started, and it can't come soon enough. I mean, come on, Disney, move it. I want to ride things. I want to go through Pandora. I want to see big blue people. I want to fly on a Banshee. A couple of weeks ago, I actually had a lot of fun in Animal Kingdom. It was a non-crowded day, and it was really pleasant to walk around. The weather was perfect on that day, and we just saw so many animals and things that were unique. Some music happened, some interesting music with instruments I've never seen before.
Namaste everyone, welcome to Anandapur. We're called Chakranari, performing on the sitar.
And that's where I did the food review at the Yak and Yeti counter service. Check out that food review. The sweet and sour chicken was amazing. I did not get photos of it because it's simply a wall, but the new Festival of the Lion King is going in Africa. So that will be, as you cross the bridge from on the left-hand side, Pete Safari is on your left, and you're crossing the bridge into Africa to go onto the safari. On the left-hand side by the Dawa Bar is where this big expansion is going in to put in the Festival of the Lion King new theater. Excuse me just a second, I just heard somebody pull into the driveway. I'll be right there. Jenny Lynn!
Hi! I'm ready to do the show today.
This is Ricky Briganti's month. You're next month.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. Sorry about that. Jenny Lynn Knopp should be our guest for February.
Ricky!
Yes, it's Ricky Briganti today. Calm down. I lose my cherub-like demeanor. So by now you would think that I pretty much have seen and done it all in Disney. They continue to amaze, delight, and surprise me. We were walking in Epcot and we were between Canada and the UK Pavilion, where they have that convention center that's sometimes used. And out of the clear blue, Chip and Dale are beckoning us to come over. They're taking this little kid's hand. I just want you to see what transpired, just the beginning. The whole video is on the website.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so cool.
What are they trying to show us?
Knock the door. Knock the door. Mommy, knock the door for you.
This is pretty cool.
Oh my god, this snack!
This is pretty cool.
Holy smokes! You never seen that?
I never saw anything like that. I felt like I had died and I was being beckoned into heaven. I don't think it was on a schedule. People say it does happen. They say that it has to do with character training. Either way, it was a great experience and there was so few people there. It was like you had your own time with them and it was just incredible. On the last two shows, I failed to mention that we are on iTunes. If that is the way you consume your media and you want to subscribe, you can do that there. If you like the show, please leave a rating there. It is like pulling teeth to get a rating on iTunes. But with that rating, it helps us get noticed more on iTunes, so I thank you. In other Magic Kingdom news, it seems that they're getting ever so closer on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I did another update about a week ago, going over the wall slightly. I'm going to take a guess and say late April it could open. There's still a lot to be done. I have no idea what's done yet on the inside. And I really have to thank Deb Wills and our friends over at allears.net for this amazing footage of the mine cars in action. I'm really getting excited for the new parade in Disney. It's been a really long time since they've had a new daytime 3 o'clock parade. They're calling this the Disney Festival of Fantasy Parade. We had some pictures leaked. I wouldn't say they're leaked. It was really taken in a public area. My friends Corinne and Daniel Anderson from DisneyLifestylers.com got these pictures here. I'm really excited about the last float, the Maleficent Dragon, but it's in like a steampunk theme. And I heard the dragon was big, and when I looked at the photo, I was like, that's not so big. But take a look here, that's a person. That's pretty big. And then Disney released their own picture, so seeing the photos really wasn't ruining anything. I really can't wait to hear the music because that usually makes the parade for me. If it's a snappy little ditty that I can really, keep belting out after the parade, I like that. And I want to catch you off guard. For this month's prize, you're going to have to tell me what this is. Tell me what this is in the comments. But you got to put it into like a sentence so that the other people reading the comments don't immediately know what it is. So put it like in the form of a fake sentence at the end of your comments or something. So if you can tell me what that is, you will win the prize shown here. And I haven't been excited about a comic book in a long time. I was never a big comic book collector, but this comic book series, Seekers of the Weird, will be a 5-part series. It's described as an all-new adventure inspired by Disney's legendary but never-built Museum of the Weird. Not only can you buy it from your favorite comic book store, but you can download it digitally from Marvel.com. And as usual now, I say a quick word from our sponsor and I show you a quick commercial before the guest. I just want to put in a good word for the sponsor that I would not allow somebody to be a sponsor if I did not believe in their product fully. This person really does take the time out to get people the best price and make the most out of their vacation. And now, a quick word from our sponsor. The Big Fat Panda Show is sponsored by Mouse Planning, Disney vacation planning for people who prefer their Walt Disney World vacations to be practically perfect in every way. Let the Mouse Planner do the planning so you can focus on having fun. Visit mouseplanning.com today for a no-obligation quote on your next visit to Walt Disney World. I'm here with somebody you probably know, Ricky Briganti from Inside the Magic. Hi, Ricky.
Hi there. How are you?
Did I just say that too loud or close to each other? Hi, Ricky.
Hi.
I'm going to give you the hug. I have to do that because I give it to everybody.
No problem.
And you like pandas, so that's okay.
That's true.
Do you really have a thing for pandas?
They're not. Yeah, I want to go up to the National Zoo, see the new little baby panda, the ones in Atlanta. Yeah.
I do want to see that. Was there somebody said that Disney, actually it was on one of your posts that somebody said Disney actually refused, or not refused, they denied pandas. They were supposed to get pandas.
I don't know the specifics of it, but it's it's one of those surprising things. You would think Animal Kingdom, they've got an Asia section.
If they had a panda, that'd be pretty popular.
I think the climate of Florida is not the happiest place for pandas.
So something that a lot of people probably don't know, and whatever you can share, how did you start this? It's now kind of legend, Inside the Magic. It's huge.
Very simply, the world of podcasting was brand new.
And we're talking 2005?
Yeah, late 2004 I think is when the term was first coined, maybe November 2004 or so. And I heard about it, and there were a handful of shows on this and that, a lot of techie stuff, and a couple months later I was like, oh, it seems to be catching on. It's not just a flash in the pan sort of thing. And so I was like, well, I could I got a microphone, I got a computer, that's all you need. And so I searched, and I was like, okay, what topics am I interested in? Of course, I'm in Orlando, big Disney fan. It's the first thing that came to mind. I was like, oh, let me see if there's any others. There was one Disney podcast out there, and it's not there around anymore. It was the Mouse Pod. And so I was like, oh, well, sure, I'll go for that.
You're Italian. Did you kill this person?
He actually, I never met the guy. I tried to email him, over the years, and his name was Jesse, and I think he came back briefly once for like a month or something, and then vanished again. But anyway, so I basically just picked up a microphone, and if you listen to the first episode, it's just me kind of going Disney for 10 minutes.
Is it still the first episode still available?
Oh yeah. It's,
okay,
you have to hunt around a little bit, but it's there, and it's not very interesting, but it just kind of went from there. It was crazy when I uploaded the first episode. I thought, if somebody listens to this, it'll be interesting. And then I don't know if it was the very first week or within a couple of weeks, but it very quickly amassed at least a few hundred people listening. And I was like, oh, that's great. That's more than I ever thought. I'll keep doing it. And it snowballed from there.
That's pretty cool. I mean, now we obviously know that you write something and you get 1,500 likes.
Yeah, it's a totally different world now. I mean, you can search for Disney podcasts, and there's 80 bazillion of them,
It's just great to know that you came from that, that humble, small experience. You didn't all of a sudden have it.
Right, and no, it definitely was a sort of a slow climb.
Before Inside the Magic, you were a big Disney fan.
Yes.
And like me, we share our favorite attraction, Haunted Mansion.
Absolutely.
I don't think, there might have been once that I got out of the Magic Kingdom and I, for some reason, was not able to go on it.
Yeah.
But I think you never leave without going on it.
If it's a special event or something and I'm in a hurry and, I'm there for a very specific purpose. But if it's just a casual day, it's definitely a must-do.
Do you notice, like me, when something is wrong in there?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to focus on, the little nitpicky stuff and just enjoy the atmosphere, but I notice.
Here's something that you can't help notice, the bus, the singing busts.
Mm.
Scrolling around the bottom was, please change bulb, please change bulb. Please. I couldn't believe that like I was seeing that this is, like they need that message to scroll across the bottom, whatever they're using for that. That's pretty
That's funny. Yeah, I even noticed at some point they, obviously the singing busts are projected, and at some point they swapped out the projectors for DLP projectors, and my eyes are very sensitive to DLP projection. Some people see like rainbows as your eyes go across it, so I noticed immediately. I was like, oh, the singing busts have new projectors.
So you're not happy with the new projectors?
No, they look great as long as and I think they may have tweaked it since then, or maybe my eyes got used to it.
It could be the movement if you're moving.
It's all about the movement, yeah. Okay. If your eyes fly across it, to some people, because of the way that the projection does it with the different colors, you see sort of this stagger of...
What did you do before Inside the Magic? Is there a job that, like, were you a travel agent? Were you a construction worker? What did Ricky Briganti do?
I mean, that was 2005. I only graduated college in 2003.
Oh, that's right.
So it was a 2-year gap where a lot of that was coming out of college with a computer science degree saying, what?
Were you always somebody who liked to entertain or radio? Because you do have a radio voice.
I as I clear my throat right when you say that.
You did have a radio voice.
You're right. No. In high school, I did a lot of video production, not so much radio. But I, kind of got used to the workflow of it with, editing things and audio and video and whatnot. Before, I remember when I was very young, I had a small tape recorder that I did like fake radio broadcasts with. I'm sure that tape exists somewhere.
That would be really cool. I would definitely, I'd pay money for that.
Yeah, but so I was always interested, sort of in that, but it wasn't something I ever really pursued to really go at till.
So it was really kind of there was a space. You liked Disney, and you didn't go into it thinking this is going to be really popular.
I didn't go into it thinking I'd do it for more than a month.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And now you're on show number 400 and something.
Yeah.
So it's been going
I lose
on
track myself. So.
So this is 2005 to 2014, 9 years.
Yeah, in April it'll be 9 years.
That's pretty amazing.
That's a long time.
Okay.
For every week.
Do you see, I mean, obviously the formula you have is working. Do you see anything different in the future? Do you see changing inside the Magic in the future? Or something new that we should know about coming, or pretty much the same formula?
Not so much in the future. As I said, I'm not doing the video version of it anymore just because that was, I was adding layers and layers on top of it. And, that's basically what I've been doing over the years. I'm like, oh, I got used to the way I was doing things, so now let me add something else to it. And I kept adding and adding, and at some point I was like, okay, I added too much. And so...
I don't know, I thought it was interesting. It was good because I could listen and then still look and see that,
As far as workload goes,
yeah.
though, I mean, I on top of the podcast, I've got the whole website and YouTube channel and all of that, and so it's just, I was happier doing just the audio version of it. That's where it started. If there is a change to be done, it's simplifying rather than complicating things.
Okay. I know I mentioned to you before, and this is off the cuff. 4K now at the CES seems to be something that's coming. If you go to Best Buy, did you see their 4K TV yet?
I have not seen it. I heard a lot about it from Michael Bay on stage.
Oh, he spoke too long about it. He really did.
I just went on and on. Brilliant guy.
Do you think that wasn't marketing, right? Because how could somebody want to be looked at that poorly?
But he's already looked at so poorly. At first I thought it was real, and then I saw the response that he put on his website, which was very PR.
Really?
It was almost like here's our exactly perfectly written response to this that had not only the name of the TV that he was supposed to be talking about, but like the model number. And
okay.
It seemed very suspicious.
You know what? In all honesty, because you posted it, I watched it, it went viral, everybody knew about it, and I guess we wouldn't be talking about the Samsung Curve had it not be for that.
There's your plug right there.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, they got me.
It worked. Seeing as YouTube already stutters over HD video,
I know.
I can only imagine. No, I certainly...
Robert Bearden tried 4K. You can't play it. It bombs my computer.
Yeah. We're not there yet. I mean, it's amazing that you can even shoot and stream in HD at this point. That's a technological marvel into itself. So, if it gets to 4K, I'm sure it's a few years away.
There's people making 8K, and it's like somebody needs to come up with a standard and stick to it.
Then everybody can analyze the little button on your shirt. And
I'm sure they will do a nose hair.
Right.
Something else that I know you do, and I think it's a good idea, Lanyard Lab.
Yeah.
These are lanyards that you can put for your company or your logo, your business name. I would find it a lot better than a t-shirt. I know it's not as easy to see in a park, but I think if everybody had green writing that we're here for this convention, I would, see my group.
You get a lot of people ordering for Disney Cruise Line, not for Cruise Line, but going on a cruise. Keep their whole group together because you're on a cruise. You're not even wearing a shirt a lot of the times. It's whatever, but you got to keep the
card, the credentials and stuff like that.
So
it's lanyardlab.com.
Yeah. And you asked what I was doing before Inside the Magic. I did work for a promotional products company then, and that kind of got me into that world, and I started my own business. So
cool.
I like to say Lanyard Lab is my primary job, but I put more hours into Inside the Magic because I'm usually doing both of those simultaneously because I'm on the computer. I'm like, well, I can be on Twitter and Facebook and doing the website, but also answering phone calls and emails. And then after sort of the workday ends, that's when I'm like, oh, now I want to edit video and do all these other things. So
something that I know a lot of us in a very friendly way are jealous of. Sometimes you get like a letter that says something from SeaWorld like, hey, we'd like you to come to this media event. He will have an orca shipped to his house. So, like, for the Green
Blackfish, don't write me any emails.
the Gringotts coaster for Diagon Alley, for Universal, I got this wonderful email with a picture of a key, and I had to type in a number and open up a virtual vault where you got a nice box with an actual key.
Yeah, well, it came via Owl Post, of course. So you flew in, dropped it right at my...
You know, I can't even doubt that. It's not even something to doubt. It probably did. And I think they're going to send the Hogwarts Express to come and pick you up to take you to
they're building the track to my house right now, so I can just hop straight on.
What are some of the memorable things you've gotten from like media things, like the head in the box? Is there something?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. The Halloween Horror Nights things from Universal are always the most memorable. I mean, it's a crazy assortment of various bloody body parts that show
it was a head in the box, and the USB was in his eyeball.
That was this year. Well, this past years, yeah. And as I found out later, actually, that head was it was actually their head makeup guy's head. Which is pretty amusing.
That's pretty good.
It was a cast of him like 15 years prior, so that's why I didn't recognize him. But no, the years even before that was really crazy because it was not only a head in a box, but it was a head I actually had to perform surgery on to get to the USB thing inside its brain. So I had to literally cut open the cranium and pull it out and move stuff. Yeah, and
I don't even remember that video. Did you make a video of that?
I did.
Was that like a Saw reference or something?
It was just for fun, and it had this horrid stench to it. I don't know what they did, if it was real or what, but as soon as I got what I needed out of there, I boxed it up, completely covered it, and was like, that needs to go away.
Do you still have all these things?
Oh yeah.
That you didn't throw out?
No, I keep all of those. They're actually in the world of Halloween Horror Nights collectors. They're quite sought after.
That is pretty cool. You should have like a place just for
But on the flip side, I mean, Disney over the years has had some, obviously not a head in the box.
Yeah, no operating cranium.
But some pretty cool stuff. I remember for the Disney Dream, it showed up in actually a similar box to what the Gringotts key showed up, but it was a cardboard, but it looked like it was a wood box. But you opened it up, and there was a paper, not a telescope, but the looking glass kind of thing that you would. Is that a telescope?
Yeah, I think I remember that. That sounds.
But yeah, so you kind of pulled it out and you looked through and you could see the ship on the water.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a neat.
All right, I'll try to have some of these things behind us as we're talking about them as reference. You go crazy for Halloween at your house.
Yep.
And it's really pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. It's it was funny after this past out every year. I bring it all out for Halloween on Halloween because.
Wait. You're setting it up on Halloween morning?
Yes, the
There's
entire
too
thing.
much. There's too much. You have a group of 5 that help you?
It's me and Michelle helps a little, but.
Okay, I can't believe that you set that up in one day, Michelle. Really, wow.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. I mean, that's literally all I do all day is just get up, start setting things up. But I do that because number one, I want to surprise everybody with it, and number two, some of that stuff is expensive or not weather friendly or whatever, so I couldn't leave it out for longer than a day. If it rains, all of it would be ruined. But I after this past Halloween, I took pictures of everything, put it all together, and I was like, let me go back and look at some of my previous Halloweens. I went back to the very first one that I decorated in the house that we're in, and it was so pathetic compared.
No,
it was like I didn't realize how much I had added over the last 8 or 9 years. But the very first year, it was like, here's a banner and here's a couple of lights, and that's it. I thought that was really cool at the time, and now I've got
the animatronic stuff.
Yeah, animatronics, and the whole thing is decked out, and I've got specific zones with different audio and projections and this, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I guess I have. No wonder it has now taken over like a quarter of my garage and a bathtub and under things.
And then the next day you have to take that down.
I tear it all down that night after the trick-or-treaters are done, and it all just goes thrown inside the front door, and it's like an explosion of Halloween in there. And then at some point in the next couple of days after I recover from a whole day of insanity, then I'm like, all right, let me cram all this back to work.
Okay, I pray that we never have a rainy Halloween, because that would just...
It happened one year that it was threatening, and it definitely made me scale back a bit. It was very windy too, which knocked stuff over, and that's...
I got a few animatronics from Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, that's where I get most of my stuff.
And then I tried to get some of their displays as they tore them down. And some of their stuff is good, and some of their stuff is just really bad.
Yeah.
But did you get the things where they step on them? And
oh yeah, lots of stuff. That became the goal over the last couple of years, was to have some sort of surprise scare And of the last year and this year, I actually had a hidden camera up at the front door to capture some of the reactions.
Was that on your video?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty cool.
pretty amusing.
I think next year I will offer my services to come and get made up and just stay somewhere like this, and not even every person, every like fifth person.
Right.
I will do that. I will come in.
Yeah, I think that the last few years have been very similar in tone, so I'm looking to really mix it up this year to give a new spin on things.
Okay.
So already thinking about it. I mean, it's January. My mind is on Halloween season.
Now Christmas is I saw it inside your house for Christmas. I know you're not doing the whole Christmas, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, not as crazy for Christmas.
It was a Santa Claus explosion in there.
Yeah.
All the places that we can find Inside the Magic. Obviously, InsideTheMagic.net. Twitter is?
Yeah, the easiest way to find everything else is take all your social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, just add /InsideTheMagic to it, and there it is.
I've always been a big fan, more than you probably know. So it's really nice for me to have you here, and I thank
It's
you
great
very
to
much.
be here. And the only thing I ask for you right now is to put something incredibly random right there.
You got it. It's there right now.
Awesome.
Look. See it? Oh. Isn't that pretty freaking random?
That's awesome.
Come and knock on our door.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
We've been waiting for you.
And there you have it, show number 7. I really thank you for watching and staying on this journey with me. Show number 8 will also prove to be interesting. I have some things up my sleeve. We have a great cast of guests for 2014. Go forth, create pandemonium, and give out some great, big, warm panda hugs. They do mean more than you know. Until next time, Panda out.